It thinks they got the answers. I think the questions.
So this week we asked for your responses to our question: what are the best and worst rivalries you've ever seen and why? And we got a lot of great responses for it. Thank you so much for everyone who responded. And this is one of these questions that, you know, there's so much answers, especially for the best rivalries. Like, our worst ones are probably great to pick out too if you can find them, but the best ones, there's so much to enjoy or so much to pick out, I imagine. So
yes, there's so many that go through your head, isn't there?
Indeed.
That for best and for maybe worst, you know.
Well, let's start tough. Let's go with maybe the worst ones first, because if you can do that. So,
see, now I can think of a few that are recent.
Okay.
You know, now if I want to go back in time for really bad ones,
yeah.
Let me see. Really bad one. Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler.
Do you really think that was that bad?
That was bad. With the WrestleMania match, that was bad.
It was certainly weird, and it was weird in a few bits and pieces, like that. Yeah. That part involved Brian Christopher, for example. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, and like Michael Cole, I like him, but I'm not sure I like him as a heel.
No, he wasn't a good heel. He really wasn't a good heel at all.
God bless him, he did try, but I don't know, like, it wasn't for me in the end. So one I want to bring up, and this goes back a few years. Mm-hmm. Remember when Perry Saturn had what was it? He had amnesia, and he thought his best friend was a mop.
I thought his girlfriend was a mop.
What? Moppy.
Yeah, Moppy.
Yeah, Moppy. When him and Raven had the rivalry
instead of Terry.
And Terry then joined forces with Raven. That was funny. Mm-hmm. But it was so strange.
It was not good, though. I don't think it wasn't good.
It was strange.
What was a really bad one?
Now here's the way you look at it. We look at it in the sense of how weird everything was with the whole thing, or do you reference it with the storyline? Would you reference it with the storyline as well? Because if we're going by storyline, there's so much we can pick.
Yeah, just stuff that didn't work.
Here's a couple of ones I want to bring up for bad storylines or weird storylines. Mm-hmm. The Big Show against the Big Boss Man. Back in 1999.
Was that the whole thing where he drove up where Big Show's dad's funeral and stuff like that?
Yep. And he took his coffin. Mm. And then later on, Big Show discovered that he's a bastard.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
He was the Jon Snow of WWE, was he?
Literally.
Yeah, that is one.
Another really bad one is Triple H and Kane. 2002, and aka the Katie Vick saga.
The what?
The Casey Vick saga.
No, I don't know that one.
You do really?
What one was that again?
Okay, it was when Kane was. It was for the first round when Kane had his half mask. He was covering his mouth wasn't covered anymore.
Yeah. And
he was tag team champions with the Hurricane, and he was Intercontinental champion. And he was challenging Triple H for the world title. This was going into, I don't know what the pay-per-view was. Mm-hmm. It was around the start of Evolution.
Yeah.
And Triple H accused Kane of being a murderer for over an accident that he was involved in real life.
Okay.
And the person.
Oh yes.
And he accused, and I don't want to mention the specifics of the story.
Yes.
On this show, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But my God, that was controversial.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty bad.
It was really uncomfortable, especially
Triple H has had a few bad ones.
He's had some horrible ones.
Steiner.
Some of the Steiner was
Steiner was a bad one.
The bench press contest, the arm wrestling contest, the posing contest.
Yeah, one that I thought was really bad, and it just culminated.
Triple H?
It just culminated in a really, really bad match at WrestleMania as well. Bret Hart and Vince McMahon.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. Never got onto it, and then the match just made everything worse.
See, the rivalry had history, so that's why it was interesting.
Yeah, but see, that's why you thought more would happen than it did.
Maybe it was. You could see after the match was over, like, oh, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's one I want to bring up. This is a recent one, but you could see it as it's so bad it's good.
Okay.
Broken Matt Hardy against Brother Nero. This is like
that was good. That's
it was weird.
That set their career. Like that put a new page on their. That made them relevant again. That brought them back to WWE.
That is true. But it started off weirdly, and then eventually it got so good.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of these ones that was bad that went good. Yeah. I won't call it bad actually. Yeah. Now
the eventual Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt feud was pretty bad.
Don't like that one.
No, like when they were tag champions and everything was good, was great.
But the rivalry,
But when they were, like the House of Horrors, the WrestleMania match,
the booking was atrocious.
it was pretty bad, man.
Let's go full circle. Let's think of really good ones now. There's so
Best
much.
one. I mentioned it a couple of months ago, and I stand by it. That the best rivalry, bar Okada and Omega
At the moment,
when it was going on, was Strowman and Reigns.
best one. Yeah, I think that's one of the best. That's probably the best. Not the best
It's the
rivalry
best
this year, but
WWE rivalry, not the best rivalry in wrestling, because Omega and Okada still has that.
I think I agree because against that it's such a the match captures your imagination so much through that rivalry. Even could you say Naito and Tanahashi?
You could actually, yeah,
Maybe.
you could, yeah.
Or even, I don't know, even Kushida and Ospreay in Japan as well. They've had a lot of great matches this year.
Yeah.
It's not to the same
It's
degree.
not so much. It's not even a rivalry. It's just they've had matches and they've torn the house down.
Epic matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's so much of a feud or a rivalry or anything like that.
But that's this year. Let's talk about maybe
That's in the past. Austin
McMahon.
Yeah. Austin McMahon for years.
That's probably, you could argue, the biggest rivalry of all time. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at the biggest ones of all time, you'd put Austin McMahon, Andre Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah. Match quality wise as well, Benoit Angle.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of Kurt Angle, like, he probably had so many great rivalries.
Yeah, him and Brock as well. Angle Brock.
Yes, absolutely. Him and maybe Sting in the TNA days, maybe. I don't know much about it.
I didn't watch a lot of that, so I can't say. Punk had some really good rivalries.
If we're going back to Japan, Kobashi, Misawa.
I really liked. These are two people we haven't mentioned yet. Punk and Taker.
CM Punk and Undertaker.
When they led up to the WrestleMania match, I thought that was brilliant.
Speaking of CM Punk, though, him and John Cena. John Cena said a
that was more CM Punk against Vince McMahon, though.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But like CM Punk has had his, or John Cena should say, has had his fair.
Let's just say CM Punk against the WWE
right.
for that rivalry. That's what it was.
CM Punk and Randy Orton.
I don't know. I didn't know a lot of that.
See, that was when WWE it was good, but like
Punk Jericho.
I think so.
Yeah, remember Jericho tried to get him to drink and everything.
Yeah,
he brought up the fact that I think his dad was an alcoholic or something like that, and his mom was a drug user or something, stuff like that.
Think of maybe the big
smashed the bottle of Jack Daniels over his head.
Think of maybe the bigger picture, maybe stable versus stable even.
Stables, ooh.
The NWO against the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
Or WCW in general.
Yes.
Or the Bullet Club and Chaos.
Bullet Club Chaos, yes. Or the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of them, Matt Hardy and Edge. Now, that's obviously
that's for different reasons, but yes.
But still.
Yes. Also, bad rivalry. Can we go back to bad rivalry?
Go for it.
Matt versus Jeff in WWE. You know, when he was messing with his pyrotechnics and stuff like that, and they had the match at WrestleMania.
That was strange, alright. Yeah. There's so many to mention, there really is. Yeah. Let's look at some of the questions back anyway. Natasha Murphy got onto us and said, one of my favourites was The Rock and Triple H. Which you didn't actually mention that one, actually. That was actually, like, the match quality you had, especially in two...
Yeah, you've mentioned that feud a few times on the show as well.
Incredible. I don't think it gets the appreciation it deserves. Like, because that made both of them, like, that made both of them where to the stature where they are now, that they still enjoy to this day.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where The Rock is now is like the highest paid actor in the world right now, and Triple H is probably second in command to WWE. Second in command to WWE, behind Vince, you could argue. And so that made them both, like, and their matches from 1998 where they were feuding for the IC title up to 2000 when they were feuding for the WWE title, and and even their Iron Man match in Judgment Day, I think is incredibly underrated.
Yeah,
like for an Iron Man match, because
what about, we mentioned stables, we mentioned single stars. Is there any memorable? Now, there's one obviously. But any memorable women's ones?
Well, Trish and Lita for one.
That's the one I was going to...
lately, you put Charlotte and Bailey up there. Charlotte and Sasha Banks up there. Yeah. I think you'd have to.
Yep.
Bad,
though.
Sorry?
Bad ones.
Oh, by far.
Alexa
Bliss and Bailey. That was dreadful.
Yep.
But I want to go back to good ones, though, for a sec. Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah, and... Oh, what was her name? Who beat her for the title? Oh my god. It wasn't Alundra Blaze. She was associated with Cyndi Lauper. I don't know her name though. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Who was that? Yes. It wasn't Sunny.
No, it was not Sunny. No, Sunny. This is like the 1980s.
Years, yeah.
This is like WrestleMania 1 when this happens or something like that. So,
who was that?
I'm trying to figure out now. Give me a sec.
Who it was? Was it? Sorry, who was it? Alundra Blaze? Was it?
No, it was not Alundra Blaze. It was. Oh, I'll have to name Wendy Richter. That's the one. Wendy Richter, who ironically was a protege. Oh no, sorry. She was Cyndi Lauper was involved in the Rock and Wrestling Connection or something like that. Like, which is ironic because I think Captain Lou Albano, I don't know if you know, was in that video of Girls Want to Have Fun.
Oh really?
Do you not know that?
No.
If you look at Girls Want to Have Fun and you look and you Wikipedia Captain Lou Albano at the same time, it's like it's the exact same person.
No way, really.
Simple as that. Now, would you include rivalries in terms of promotions as well? Like, imagine Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, or Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but
obviously it's not.
This is breaking kayfabe, but obviously, those were real.
Yeah,
you know, they were business rivalries.
Yeah. Natasha went on to say they both seemed to come into themselves during their years feuding. Yeah, like that's as we were saying, like going up against each other. Peter Unwell George Wall said,
"That's a name.
That is a name. Rock and Triple H, Rock or Austin, and Ambrose and Rollins. They had a very good rivalry, actually. Yeah, I'm with
okay.
I'm with them on that.
It was all right.
When the breakup of the Shield, they had very good matches. When Dean Ambrose came back, when Seth Rollins came back. That was good.
Yeah,
I'm for that. Like, I think they had some very good rivalries and matches, so I'm totally for that.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
No, not really. Not up there with some of the stuff we've been describing.
Dylan Murphy got on to us, and he's agreed with us that the worst that we've ever seen recently is Bliss versus Bayley. It managed to kill any momentum Bayley had and even turned the fans on her. Bayley looked pathetic throughout the whole rivalry. Not even to mention, god awful Bayley is. This is your life segments. That's very true. That's actually one of the worst segments I've ever seen. So it's hard to beat with that. And again, you look back on it, and it's just so cringe-worthy as well, isn't it?
There's nothing good about that rivalry. Nothing good about it. Maybe the only thing is that Alexa kept the title for the whole time, but no.
Anne Ferguson, who's coming from us from Nashua, New Hampshire in the USA, got in touch and said the best, in her opinion, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Now again, the match quality, that's one of the best you can think of right there.
True.
I think it added fuel to fire by you got the feeling that all the animosity that happened between them backstage back in the day, and they probably said it themselves, that they've had a few sit down chats with the two of them talking to each other about the whole thing. It added the fuel to the fire to the whole thing, and it showed in the match. Like some of the matches they had, the Iron Man match in particular. Yeah. Like it can't get better than that. Worst is one you brought up, Triple H Scott Steiner.
Oh, so bad. Wow. Can't believe how bad that rivalry was. And like, to be fair, anything Scott Steiner touched in WWE was bad. It seems as though he just didn't care. Now, I know he was wrestling injured for a lot of it. He broke his ankle and he never really recovered from it.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
Was that the one when he fell? Speaking of Scott Steiner, when he took his rivalry with Test.
I can't even remember that.
It's when they were fighting over Stacey Kimler.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you remember that?
No.
It was Test. Test was with Stacey Kimler for months, and they were a very happy couple. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of jealousy between Test. Scott Steiner and Test started to team up, and there's a bit of jealousy between Test, and he became a bit of an a-hole. He became this cocky guy who just almost pushed the barrier in terms of grabbing her too often, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and eventually they stopped, and that was that. So. Nick Montage.
It's always a woman, isn't it? It's always a woman. Coming between friends.
Oh, I hate it. Nick Montage from Ontario, Canada, got in touch saying Flair and Piper, but he mentioned this in Mid's Championship Wrestling, which is I think this was back in the 1980s.
Yeah, that's when they used to have hour-long matches as well.
Yeah, truly the best ever, he says. So Flair and Piper now, that is a rivalry, and that goes to so many promotions.
Flair and Ricky Steamboat gets a lot of credit as well for being one of the best rivalries too.
That is actually
Yeah.
Think of a lot of Flair's rivalries, like again, Ricky Steamboat's, Harley Race, Sting, who was going to mention Hulk Hogan.
Death. He had a great rivalry with Death there a couple of weeks ago.
That's I don't know. Randy Savage.
Well, he won, so it's okay to make jokes about it.
Maybe Randy Savage.
No, he lost his thing with Death.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Randy Savage, right? Both in WWE and WCW had some very good matches there. Finally, Matthew Clemens got in touch and said, the best again, Sean and Brett. The worst, Big Boss Man and Nails.
Nails.
Nails was the guy who... I see what the interest I think what Matthew has with this is that he's looking at... Here's Nails, whose gimmick back in the day was a guy who broke out of prison. He wore like the prison uniform.
He wore the jumpsuit, did he?
The orange jumpsuits.
And Big Boss Man is the warden trying to catch him.
That's it. Yeah. It appealed to a gimmicky sense.
That could be something that's funny for 1 week and then you'd leave it.
That's like right to censor against anyone who has sex appeal back in the day.
Yeah. I never realised what the story was behind Right to Censor.
What was it?
It was a piss take.
Had to be.
Because
and it being one of the most hated groups of all time.
Because they wanted purposeful heat, because the National Parents Association of America or something like that gave out to WWE and filed like a lawsuit against them because they were on like primetime television and they had people like the Godfather who was a pimp and had his hose, and it was Val Venus who was playing like a porn star.
And the most ironic thing of all...
So they completely flipped the switch, did Right to Censor, and it was a piss take of the National Parents Association throughout the whole thing.
And the clever part is that they made the Godfather and Val Venus join the Right to Censor.
Yep.
That is ingenious booking.
Isn't it?
Ingenious booking.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did something like that nowadays. If there was a Right to Censor nowadays, who would be in it?
Oh.
There's a question. There is a bazillion-dollar question.
Oh, who'd be in Right to Censor now?
Think who has a
who would lead it, and then who would be in the rest?
Priest Dango, right, straight away.
Possibly. I was thinking like
a dancer in the mouth. No Way Jose.
No Way Jose, possibly. Just because he dances and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's different. Because like this is the thing, they don't have characters that are. Aleister Black.
Wait. Aleister. Let me think about this for a second. Aleister Black. No, I got a better one. Velveteen Dream.
Tag team together.
Oh, I don't know.
What would they be called? So obviously because they were called the Good Father, and Val Venus didn't change his name, which was weird. But
Black Dreams.
Oh,
Nightmares.
No, because they can't say stuff like that because it has to be clean because it's the Parents Association.
Okay. Just say no.
White Dreams.
This is getting weird. I have no idea. If No Way Jose joined them, his name would just be No Way.
No, it'd just be Jose.
Oh,
it'd just be Jose.
No, he could say that name. No Way Jose.
No, it would be No Way Jose. Just a gap in between, like No Way.
But imagine how funny it would be. Imagine if he's
Jose No Way.
But imagine how funny it would be if he had the name No Way Jose and he used that as a safety gimmick.
Yeah.
I am No Way Jose. No way you can do this. No way you can do that.
He'd have a sign, like the road sign that says No Way.
Yeah.
He'd have the road sign and it's just like No Way. No way.
We're going completely off topic, but I don't care. I'm enjoying this so much. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone who replied. We got some great answers there, like best and worst there. So thanks very much for everyone replying, and we'll hope to do another question of the week very soon.